Good morning, YouTube. My name is Angel Lara, Jesus Angel Lara. I'm 27 years old, and the point of today's video is first and foremost to continue on my path, guide as many believers as I can to God, um, and to tell you guys a little bit about my life. We're gonna kick off the video with a little bit of insight about my life. The main reason I made this video, as it is my only video that I ever made on YouTube. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of nervous. But just know it's not me, it's God, always and forever. My life's been pretty hard. I'm 27. I've done so much in these 27 years of my life. Another reason I wanted to make this video as well is it is the end of Mental Health Awareness Month. And I know a lot of people in this world are dealing with a lot of different problems as far as their mental. I'm here to tell you that everything's going to be all right. Do not let this life and your 9 to 5 dictate your mental health, because I've been there. I've been at a point where I had zero money. I had no money for gas. We got evicted from our apartment. I mean, you name it. I mean, I've been through it. But I'm blessed to say that here right now, God has helped me and guided me to owning my own home at just 26 years old. I am in no way religious, but I am a believer in God. He is my king. He is who I answer to, and he is who I bow down to. And I'd like to tell you guys it's not that I didn't believe in God. It's just that I didn't really have faith, and I had too much questions, and I needed answers. And little by little, I received those answers. And a lot of you guys don't know it, but when you're dealing with stuff like this, you get signs. You get little signs throughout your journeys. Whether you realize it or not, God is always there with you. Reason why I say that God is with you, basically 24/7 is I'm honestly a living example of that. I come from a family of violence. My dad's side has 9 boys just from one mom, my grandmother. None of them ever worked a day in their life. They were just all drug dealers. And I was in a household, that was my everyday life, was seeing all that. I seen people get stabbed. I seen people, get hit in the hand with hammers. It's not funny, but, just looking back at it, I seen so much for being so little. And not to bag on them, they just didn't know better. But I turned out pretty decent, I would like to say. I seen people get stabbed. I seen people, get a gun pointed in their head. I know for sure that my family's, been in shootouts. I've been a part of 3 raids overall with the police, 2 when I was little and 1 when I was an adult. So I come from at least from my dad's side, I come from a family where, they just don't know better. They didn't have that father figure in their life, as well as me. I never really had my father figure. Funny story is, I was, I think, 5 years old, and I think my dad did his first 4 years. I think he got on his first sentence. So from 5 to 9 or 10, I didn't really grow up with my dad. He got out when I was 10. Within a year, he's doing another 14 years in prison, And the funny thing about that is he actually got sentenced on my birthday. April 5th was the day that he got his 14-year sentence on my birthday. I was 10 years old, I think, or 11 years old, I believe, at the time. And the most craziest thing, and believe it or not, September 16th, 2007 is when my mom passed away. She was 27 years old, which is insane to me because right now I am 27 years old and I do have children of my own. I was 11 years old when she passed away. So think about it. All in the same year, around the same year, I lost my mom, and then I basically lost my dad because at this time he was going to be doing 19 years in prison. I'm 20. I'm 27 right now, so if you think about it, I just never really grew up with a father figure. Uh, um, forgot about this. I drowned when I was, I think, 3 or 4 years old. I believe I drowned in the pool. I got airlifted to the hospital. Uh, I was pronounced dead at the hospital. These are the stories. I don't remember, but and then somehow, some way, I came back at the hospital. So, my life's been rough. I've been to jail. I have a record right now, trying to follow my family's footsteps, but like, that's why I use God a lot because he helped me learn from it, he basically showed me, you wanna go that path, I'm gonna allow you to go that path, but you're gonna see what jail's like, and I know for sure you're not gonna like it. I went to the military as well. I served in the military. I had one deployment to Afghanistan. I was also in Kuwait, and when we were doing back and forth missions to Iraq at the time. That's when I was 18, or yeah, 18. I spent my 19th birthday in Afghanistan. Or no, I'm sorry, I lied. I was 18 in basic, graduated when I was 19 in basic, graduated in April. Within October, I was already getting deployed for 9 months. So my life, real fast, Um, I never really drifted away from God, Like I said, I just had a lot of questions. Everything was happening at once. I was seeing a bunch of crazy things, evil things, I would say. I just felt like alone, didn't have parents, I was blessed enough to get blessed with my aunt, which is my mom's sister. She took me in with her husband, which is my uncle dad figure, He was in the Air Force at this time for, I think, 15 years already. He was a mechanic in the Air Force, which is funny because I knew that I wanted to leave to the military long before, basically my dad was in the Air Force. So it's kind of a crazy story. During this time, I can likely say that maybe my faith wasn't always in God right there and then. I didn't hate him, but I can definitely say that I didn't have faith in him at the time. I had a lot of questions, like I said earlier. So much was going on in my young life that, I just felt like I didn't have control. I never felt really like suicidal, I would say, but I felt like I had to be strong for myself, I had to keep going. I didn't have any brothers and sisters, life wasn't over yet, it wasn't over for me. I was destined for better things. I was destined to, change the outcome of my last name because at this time I didn't have a good rep as far as law enforcement or, anybody that thought about my last name or my family, they didn't think good about it, and that's for certain. Looking back, I'm really grateful that God allowed all this stuff to happen in my life. Not to sound cliche, but it made me a better me today. Even when I was young, I would help the homeless. We would senior ditch day. I seen a homeless man at the freeway. I would give him all our snacks. Maybe if I didn't have money, I would give him blankets. I learned that down the road. It's better to help people, and to tell your story, or you know, even if it's a little gesture, you know, have a good day, you know. You never know what somebody's going through. So that was one of the main things that I wanted to make this YouTube video about, because it is mental health awareness. As I said earlier, I know a lot of people are going through stuff right now. Uh, you're listening to my story, and I'm so grateful that you're listening. Uh, um, I pray every day, you know, I pray every night. I try to get as close as I can with God. Even if you're not a believer in God, I suggest that you read a little bit of the Bible, you know. Um, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. Um, you know, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in just America alone. Um, I just really hope that you guys pray for everyone around the world, pray for the homeless, pray for the babies, the kids right now. Take this video, and I hope that it brings positivity. I hope that God blesses you guys. I hope that He blesses my family, everyone that loves me, everyone that cares about me. I hope He blesses our soldiers, because a lot of them don't know what they're fighting for or who they're fighting for. I pray for all the mothers around the world, the dads that are present, and even if they're not present, I still pray for them. Why I talk and give so much praise to the Lord also is because He honestly saved me. He saved me a lot of times. When I was deployed in Afghanistan, we were gonna get mortared right above our heads. I remember this exact moment, and the machine, I forgot what it's called, but it was on a Connex container. It goes up in the middle of the air and it shoots the mortar out the sky. It was aiming for us in the chow hall. We were walking toward the chow hall, and I just remember it was nighttime, and we look up, and you can see the thing coming basically at us. You know, at the time I didn't think nothing of it, you know. But the moral of the story is God was there with me the whole time. Even when I was doing something as, you know, fighting an enemy, you know, wanting to kill him, wanting to destroy him, having that mindset, you know, because you got to think, I'm young, you know, I don't really know, and it's not really healthy to have that mindset, because my job was an 11 Bravo. So that's why I give so much praise, because He saved me a lot of times, not just from when I was a kid, but as an adult, even till right now. He played a major role in my life. You know, I could have been a drug addict. You know, I had family members that are drug addicts. I could have been a murderer. You know, because I get that sometimes especially in the civilian world. But I learned, and I get better every day. You know, God is with me every day. God is with you guys every day. You just gotta seek Him and pray, because He is the most loving and most caring Father you can ever have. You put Him first before anyone, and don't turn His back on Him, and His promises and His love for you will grow abundantly. So that is the main reason that I wanted to share this story. As I lost everything at a young age. I was dealing with mental health problems at the time. Going to psychologists, you name it. Because losing your mom at a young age is something that no kid should have to go through. You know, and if you have lost your mom, even at an old age, you know, I pray for you, and I ask God to give you comfort, to let you know that, you know, whoever family member is with him, or, you know, to rest in peace, and that He cares and takes care of him. He shows you mercy. He shows everyone around the world mercy. Um, and he gathers as much followers as he can before his time is coming. Um, I was blessed to receive his grace, for him to love me as much as he does, for him to allow me to go through everything that I've gone through, uh, to now be at 27 years old in my own house, with my beautiful family, you know, all these material things, which they don't matter to me. But he's shown me that grace and that love, you know, because I shouldn't be here right now. I definitely shouldn't be here right now. That is why I want to share my story with you guys. You know, you guys can think whatever you want of it. You know, it's 100% true. Um, you know, I love my life. I loved it ever since I was little. You know, I just had questions, which all of us have. You know, we all need that teacher. Um, you have to learn something new every single day, whether it's with God, you know, whether it's with your family, whether it's with the angels, whether it's with the earth. You know, it's better to learn something new every day. You learn someone's story, and it maybe might just help your own path and your own story. There's also because I wasn't always like this. Just a couple years ago, my dad just got released from prison. I think I was 25, 26. It was just recent. You know, I never talked to my dad while he was in. I always blamed him, you know. I just lost my mom, you know. My dad's the only one alive. I feel like he should have been there, you know. But instead he wasn't. So I always had this like anger towards him. I guess anger overall. I always had this anger, and that might be a reason why I chose the military as well, because I was already a soldier before a soldier, if you get what I'm saying. But anyway, I always had this anger towards him specifically. But I remember him getting out, and the first time I seen him, I took him to go get something to eat. And that was the first time we ever talked one-on-one. I mean, as me, an adult, and him as a, you know, older man already. He's a grandfather, so that's, you know, it's both new for us. But I remember telling him, you know, the truth, you know, and everyone that knows me knows this, that I always said when I was younger, or a teenager, or in the military, wherever the case is, I always wanted to fight my dad or hurt him, I guess, you know. That's just how I felt. You know, there's no explaining it. I guess I didn't like him, you know. And I'm not even downplaying it. I really wanted to fight my dad or hurt him. No reason at all. But once I found God, you know, it says respect your parents, obey them. And even though he wasn't really like a father figure to me, I learned to forgive him. I learned to love him. Our relationship right now maybe not be the best, but I forgave him and I love him as a father, even though he had no role in my life whatsoever. I still love him and I forgave him, and that is a big thing that I learned through God. You know, you gotta forgive. You once you forgive, you get rid of that spirit, you know, of anger. At least that was my situation. You know, so it was a crazy story. It was a crazy experience, you know, because I'm already an adult. You know, he's in his 40s. You know, I haven't seen him since he was my age, 20 something. You know, so it was just a big change for me. You know, and everyone that seen my way of changing or attitude, you know, knew that it wasn't normal for me. You know, none of this is normal. You know, faith isn't normal. The signs aren't normal. God is normal, but he's denormalized in this world today. And that is why we need to go back to God. We need to go back to praying. There's also because I wasn't always like this. Just a couple years ago, my dad just got released from prison. think I was 25, 26. It was just recent. Um, I never talked to my dad while he was in. I always blamed him, I just lost my mom, my dad's the only one alive. I feel like he should have been there, but instead he wasn't. So I always had this like anger towards him. Uh, I guess anger overall. I always had this anger, and that might be a reason why I chose the military as well, because I was already a soldier before a soldier, if you get what I'm saying. But anyway, I always had this anger towards him specifically. Uh, but I remember him getting out, and the first time I seen him, I took him to go get something to eat. And that was the first time we ever talked one-on-one. As me, an adult, and him as a, older man already. He's a grandfather, so that's, it's both new for us. But I remember telling him, the truth, and everyone that knows me knows this, that I always said when I was younger, or a teenager, or in the military, wherever the case is, I always wanted to fight my dad or hurt him, I guess. That's just how I felt. There's no explaining it. I didn't like him, and I'm not even downplaying it. I really wanted to fight my dad or hurt him. No reason at all. But once I found God, it says respect your parents, obey them. And even though he wasn't really like a father figure to me, I learned to forgive him. I learned to love him. Our relationship right now maybe not be the best, but I forgave him and I love him as a father, even though he had no role in my life whatsoever. I still love him and I forgave him. And that is a big thing that I learned through God. You gotta forgive. Once you forgive, you get rid of that spirit, of anger. At least that was my situation. So it was a crazy story. It was a crazy experience, because I'm already an adult. He's in his 40s. I haven't seen him since he was my age, 20 something. So it was just a big change for me, and everyone that seen my way of changing or attitude, knew that it wasn't normal for me. None of this is normal. Faith isn't normal. The signs aren't normal. God is normal, but he's denormalized in this world today. And that is why we need to go back to God. We need to go back to praying. God's return is real soon. You can see that everything going on in the world, it's very clear every and each day. It's getting more clear. So the good thing about life is we get free will to make any decision we want, whether it's good or bad. So that I ask that all of you guys make the decision of, taking God's side, because it is a spiritual warfare out here. Take God, get rid of the earthly things, those desires, because none of that's going to matter soon. God loves you. He loves all of us. He sent his only son, Jesus Christ, to come, wash away our sins. So I'm fully blessed with being named after him. Jesus is my name. Angel Lara. So I take that very seriously. I only wish to do God's work. Whatever he puts in my heart, I'll try to push out, because like I said before, this is my first YouTube video. I don't know whether it's going to be a good or bad video. The only thing that matters to me is the message gets out. You guys hear my story. You guys take it however you want, good or negative. But just listen. I hope it breaks some of your guys' barriers. The main thing is getting rid of the earthly desires, the earthly things. because like I said, none of that is going to matter soon. As we see around the world, there's a lot of wickedness, a lot of evil, um, not even in other countries, but in our own country here in America, if you reside here. Um, a lot of kidnappings, um, you know, a lot of everything. Um, and that's just the truth, you know. Like I said, everyone has free will. I hope you take this message very seriously. I hope that you seek God. I hope that you pray, not just for your own family or yourselves, but everyone around the world. Um, I hope that this gets more believers. Um, I don't hope, I pray that this gets more believers. Um, you know, whatever judgments comes against me, you know, I'm willing to take. Um, I'm a man of God. I don't fear nobody besides God. I put my own children um, after God, so I put God before anybody, and everybody. Um, that's just how it is. Um, don't worry about feeling nervous or scared, you know. Don't worry about what you've been through in life, you know. It's all in your heart, you know. You only know what goes on with your own mind and your body. So I hope that you take this seriously. Um, you pray, because God is the only one that can help you with anything that you're going through, whether it's mental, physical, or emotional. Whatever it is, He can help you. Um, like I said, don't worry about the worldly things as far as money, material things. Um, not saying that, you know, you can't indulge in them, but just don't worry about them like how you used to, you know, because none of that matters. You know, these computers, my phone, my camera, my house, my car, none of it matters, you know, because when you go to heaven, you're gonna have 20 times that. You just gotta have that faith, you know, that faith in Him, that faith in any good that's coming out, the faith in the light. You gotta get away from the evil. Um, you just gotta seek Him. I pray for the soldiers who lost their lives in all these wars that have happened. Not even in the United States, but everywhere around the world. I pray for all the soldiers. I pray that anyone watching this video gets better understanding, and follows you, my Lord. Uh, Dear God, I hope that you continue to bless me, continue to bless everyone around the world, continue to bless the people that watch this video. Show them love, show them grace, take them in as your own, my Lord. I pray that you give them the light. I pray that they seek you. I pray that you forgive any sins, that they repent to you, my Lord. I pray that you bless them, you continue to bless them, and you show them your love, my Lord, because it is the best thing ever to experience. I pray for everyone's mental health. I pray for everyone's finances. I pray for the good and not the bad of this world. And I pray that you continue to keep bringing believers to you, my Lord. Amen.